I've said before, we're delighted to be through, and Australia have done us a massive favour. But I felt with 15, 20 minutes to go, it was like sitting in the box myself, because you're going through the emotions of what the coaches are doing, and I turned around and said to my wife, what happens the next 20 minutes? It changes people's lives, whether it's ours or people involved with England. So you've got to put things into perspective. Yeah, it's great that we've qualified and whatever, but you've got to feel for other people involved in other teams, because there's a huge amount at stake, not just it's families and livelihoods and all that sort of stuff. So I'm just making sure I'm trying to keep things into perspective, really. A couple of moments of brilliance from Australia. They're always capable of doing that. The sin binning was a huge point in the game where been down 17-3, and then England came back, and I thought when England came back and started to move the ball, and they looked put Australia under some pressure. And 2013, the game was in the balance, and we were lucky enough the week before to be in the same position and get a penalty and score a try, and England started putting some pressure on. But that last 10 minutes, obviously with the sin binning, the game's gone away from you then. It's everyone's making the thing about the first home country, to hold a World Cup to miss out in the quarterfinals, but the stupid thing, as we all know, is why was the World Cup draw done 3 years ago? I mean, that's just ridiculous as far as I'm concerned. And if they had followed the football model, then we wouldn't be in this position. If we hadn't have played a game on the December the 1st outside the window of the seedings, then we wouldn't have gone down a place and whatever, and we wouldn't have ended up in the same group. So there's other people outside of this that need to have a look at themselves and why those decisions were made. And you've got to feel sorry for the people involved and who this has affected.
I think you said, I've spoken up about England and Stuart Lancaster and stuff. So if you want to talk about Wales and Australia next week, just talk about.
Warren, you said you can take the shackles off next week. It's no longer.
The guys are pretty battered after the Fiji game. They're still a bit sore today, so we can recover over the next couple of days and start really planning for Australia. So look, it's a nice position to be in. I mean, the nice position to be in is, like I said, go out and play, and if you win this group, then potentially your road through to in quarterfinals, semi-finals are a little bit easier than going down the other route. We may change one or two players. Obviously, we've got some pretty bruised and battered bodies at the moment, and we haven't even discussed selection. Which is sort of it's been a loose discussion at the moment. And so we'll just have a look and see what happens over the next couple of days in terms of selection, and we do have other options, and depending on what sort of style of game we want to go into, what sort of game plan we want to go to, may influence us in terms of the few changes that we do make.